Alright, flaps are set to 1, parking brake is off, trim is set to +2, we've got half a tank of water, we've got about a third of a tank of fuel. Rotate around 95 knots. Got our radio calls made, we've got no traffic incoming.
Clear for takeoff, runway 29 or
Entering the runway.
Delta 581.
Controls are free. CL-415, we're in California. In the hills, second flight with the Quest 3. First flight with the Bobovr S3. So excited to see how that goes. We're out of reverse. Start getting the props up to speed. 1200 RPM. Full throttle. Full throttle meaning in the green. Little high. Maybe a little windy here. Positive rate, gears coming up. Safe airspeed, flaps. Oh, I didn't have any flaps in. Okay. Oopsies. Gear is up.
IKG Foxtrot, Delta 5810, continue for south departure. Oakland Tower, IKG Foxtrot, Delta 5810, continue for south departure.
Coordinates of the fire front 36 north, 121 west.
So, second flight back in with the Quest 3. Cloudier than the last time. I don't know if it's the gamma settings with virtual desktop, but it looks fantastic. Lighting looks way better. The taxiway surface looked better. I think, granted, I haven't flown in a few days, but something was better. I do think it's with cloud cover, though. And first flight with the Bobovr S3. I was looking for better headband. Obviously, the stock band that comes with the Quest 3 is a little rough. You get a lot of pressure on the forehead and the cheeks, and wasn't long before I was shopping for headbands. I got this one off Amazon. So far, so good. Has a ton of support cushions all around it. Big cradle in the back with a rotating dial to tighten it. There's the band across the top, which houses the fan for the air conditioning, which is quite pleasant. It's on right now. It's I don't know what I've got it set to because I can't see, but you can change the percentage of the fan, so that's kind of cool. Does go up pretty high. I don't have it that high right now. I'd be surprised if I was over 40%. Probably less than that. I don't hear it. I hear my computer, so I don't hear the fan in the headset. It's cool right now. I have noticed once you get playing for a bit, you start to not notice cool air. And that's when it starts to really pick up the heat off the headset. So it will blow some pretty warm air in, but the movement of the air is still pretty pleasant. And then it's got kind of like a headrest or some cushioning behind the halo. Oops, missed a radio call. There's two little pieces that come up and provide some additional cushioning on top of the head. And they make a great mounting point for fun pieces of flair. Like moose antlers. Because why not? Gotta have fun. Don't need to descend. But all in all, super comfortable so far. It keeps the eyepiece of the VR kind of off the face or just against it, but not with pressure. It's more like it's hanging there. So that's kind of nice. You do lose some of the lateral stability when you're looking around, but I don't know, I've been playing Zero Caliber too, and I haven't noticed any issues with that. I haven't tried Thrill of the Fight yet, but I think it'll be manageable. Super comfortable. It feels well built. Big chunky battery in the back that has magnets to come in and out, and they are absolutely solid. That battery's not going anywhere. You stick it in there and it really kind of feels good. I'm quite impressed. I can't compare it to the Kiwi designs. I couldn't get the Kiwi design one that I was interested in with a battery. So I went with this. And the fact that I can have moose antlers seals the deal for me. Designed those... I mean, I used models that were available online, but otherwise kind of put it together and printed it off at home. Got a Bamboo Labs X1C that I like for a little bit of 3D printing every now and then. So, getting some visual artifacts, but that may have to do with... Like, I'm running virtual desktop over the air, plus I have casting on to record, so that might just be something I have to sort of live with.
This is Tech 8. Thanks for joining. We'll be coordinating the response together today. Do you have the fire in sight?
Have the fire in sight.
IKG got a visual. 7 drops max to do the job, then you come back, guys. Your tanks are full. You're good to drop your first load. Move to the left shoulder. The ground squad is in position 2.
There might be a little valley I can run in there.
Working the opposite flank.
I'm gonna take a look at it. I hate the turbulence in this. I do like free flight because I can turn it off a little bit. Ooh, that's kind of fun. Gotta watch that hill on the backside. I don't know what my frames are right now. The game's overall pretty smooth, but it looks awesome. I have no idea why, but I'm not upset about it. Alright, we're going to pick up a little bit of altitude. That's going to drop our airspeed. Just going to get this thing turned. A little stuttery though, so that's a bit of an annoyance. Alright, 2 notches of flap set. We're heading in. So we're gonna drop. It's gonna be a steep climb on the backside. That's okay. I think we're getting actually pretty good frames apart from a few stutters, but it feels like it's getting some frames out of it. Okay, throttle's back in, we're getting some sync. Ready, and drop.
Complete.
Keep the flaps in until we're over the hill.
Well done. Significant progress for the ground unit.
Tech 8 IKG, we're leaving fire zone for refill. Back in a few minutes, okay?
Copy that, IKG. Coordinates of the scooping site 35 north, 121 west.
This is where I'm going to scoop. I believe it is. Alright, that worked out okay. Yeah, my forehead feels nice and cool, which is lovely. That's a much bigger lake than I think I was expecting. Anyways, we're going to fly past it so that we use our speed while we're empty, and we'll be heading back in the right direction when we're slow and full. Yeah, forehead's nice and comfortable. I don't have the pressure on my forehead and on my cheeks. Ooh, sorry about that. A little bit pressure up on top of my head. At times that can get to a level of discomfort still. But overall better than the stock headband for sure. Came out of a Quest 2 where I had the Elite head strap. The stock one, or the whatever, the meta version. And I quite liked it. I certainly didn't have any issue with it. I never tried a third-party headband with the Quest 2. Now that I have this one, I think I probably would have. But, yeah, overall I'm quite impressed. The Quest 3 from the Quest 2, I mean, there's definitely a boost in clarity. That's been very, very noticeable. Whether it's in the menu screens or in the aircraft itself. Can read things a little bit better. For the most part, it's a reduction in the amount of glow around edges. Edges seem to look better. Would I suggest to everybody? Absolutely not. It has to be, you know, you gotta be using it enough for it to be worth it to you, or at least have the income that you can throw to an upgrade like that, but I'm quite happy with it. Wouldn't hate a few less stutters. There's something going on in the sim that doesn't normally go on. I don't know, there's like something's running on a different layer than it normally does in terms of visual settings. So, quite know what that's about. We're gonna start slowing down. I hate oops. Didn't do much for us. Might have been the wrong lights anyways. Oh, I ran my mouse over that stupid toolbar. Now it's not going to go away. Lovely. Still very high. Energy's coming back. One notch of flaps in. Two notches of flaps. We're at 15 degrees. Flaps 2. Starting to pick up a little too much speed here. Looking for 110 on the gauge. There we go. Safe airspeed. Flaps 3, 25 degrees. We are full flaps. So, didn't plan my approach well, way too high in the turn. Got enough room, it's not going to be a huge problem, but it was unnecessary to do a dive like this to the water. Alright, getting our trim set, bring a little power back in. Probes are down.
Captain, we can scoop here if you think it's a better choice.
Ooh, thank you. Oh, the stutters. Ooh.
Touchdown scoop. Tanks at 25%. Water tanks half full. We're at 75% capacity. We're good, let's go back.
And we're off. Decent scoop. Now, get some flaps out. So there's up to flaps 1. A little too aggressive trying to watch out for the sink there, but that's okay. And flaps are up. Still a little heavy on the stick. I should be getting it back here soon. Just working the trim. Lots of trim work. Trim, trim, trim. If you're not using the trim, or hardly ever using the trim, then you are trimming incorrectly. Who knows? We got full tanks. We're ready to go. So now the air coming out of the fan on the headset is not feeling as cool as it was early on. Bring our power back. We're working our trim nose up, just keeping everything steady. Power's coming back so we can start dropping some airspeed. We want to be somewhere useful to put the flaps in when we need them. Ooh, big thermal off the, or not thermal, but ridge lift off the mountain there. Turn in a little bit early because we don't want to miss that entrance.
Tech 8 IKG back to fire site.
IKG Tech 8, roger that.
Tech 8 IKG, we're back on site. Ready for new drop. Stand by.
IKG, okay, area is clear. Engage.
Roger.
Ooh. Pushing us, pushing us, pushing us. Alright. And we got some sink in here. So we'll bring the power in just a little bit early, and we are gonna drop.
Water away.
And into the valley. Very nice.
I'll radio in the drop status as soon as...
Get some more power in. Some trim out.
Okay.
Take a notch of flaps out.
The ground squad is now moving forward.
And take the flaps out.
Stand for refill. Back in a few minutes, okay?
Copy that IKG.
Oh, this looks so good. I don't know why it's the lighting or something, but I really want to fly an airplane through a valley now. Like, yeah, it doesn't look great, but practically speaking, it looks awesome. So... Alright. So same deal. We'll fly down to the other end empty and load on the way back. Be a heck of a lot more efficient. Good for our drop so far. I don't think I'm going to switch drop modes. Don't think I'll get the time moving over the fire to hit the button both times. I don't mean to touch the mic like that. I'm talking with my hands. Get 2 notches of flaps in. Got lots of altitude. Airspeed's good. Bring the nose up, a little bit of nose up trim, just get the speed down again. We're in a bit of a sink. That's okay. There we go, airspeed's coming back. Full flaps. Even this, I don't necessarily want to dive this much, but probe's down. Trim is in.
Captain, we can scoop here if you think it's a better choice than King City.
I do, thanks for letting me know. And just waiting for the water. There we go, flaps 2, power's coming in, trim's coming nose up.
Water tank's half full. We're at 75% capacity.
Excellent.
Let's go back.
And we're off the water. Good scoop. Oops, too much nose down trim. Okay, give our engines a little bit more. We can take a notch of flaps out. And flaps are out. Now we've got the airspeed, we can start to climb. Using the trim to release the pressure on the hand. And the other nice thing about the trim is once you have it set, once you have your airspeed set for the attitude that you want, you know, the sim will tell you. If your nose starts to drop, then your airspeed is dropping. If your nose starts to climb, then your airspeed is climbing. Because you're trimmed for a certain airspeed, the plane will tell you what is going on with it. And it'll correct kind of on its own, so there may not be anything you need to do necessarily. That'll depend on how strict you need to be with your altitude, or if you have passengers on board, or... but in particular, when you're climbing or when you're in the descent, when you have your airspeed trimmed well, then the plane will tell you what's going on and what adjustments you need to make. At least give you another piece of information. Just gonna come around that hill and come down the road. The fire, continuing our way out. Next drop we might need to go around further and come back at it from the other direction, or hit it from this direction. Run through the valley. See how this one looks.
Tech 8 IKG back to fire site.
IKG Tech 8, roger that.
Tech 8 IKG, we're back on site. Ready for new drop. Stand by.
IKG, clear to engage.
Roger.
We're gonna get some sync in here. dropping.
Load released.
I'll radio in the drop status as soon as the visibility gets better. Nice. You're helping unlock the ground unit here.
Felt good.
Tech 8 IKG, we're leaving fire zone for refill. Back in a few minutes, okay?
Copy that IKG.
Right on. A little fast. There we go. Ups 1, 10 degrees. Ups 2, 15 degrees. Laps 3, 25 degrees. Probes down, power's coming back in. Trimming.
Captain, we can scoop here if you
Ready on the flaps.
City.
Flaps 2.
Touchdown scoop.
Trimming, nose up.
5%.
Power's coming in.
Water tank's half full.
Kind of bouncing a little bit.
5% capacity. We're good, let's go back.
There we go. Power's in, probes up, trim's in. Off the water. Flaps up a notch, watching the sink. Flaps are up. Airspeed's building. Turn probes are up. A little more work to get out that time. It's a little slower when I brought the flaps up, so that moment of sink kills a lot of potential energy more than avoiding the sink.
Tech 8 IKG back to fire site.
IKG Tech 8, roger that.
Tech 8 IKG back on active area. Ready for action, standing by.
IKG, area's clear. Initiate.
Copy.
Alright. Kind of an awkward spot, but I think we can make it work. We're gonna watch the sink. We've got some power in, but maybe too much because we gotta dive. There's the sink. Come out of it in a sec. There, we're out of the sink. Dropping.
Complete.
And we're okay, we're okay, we're okay. Over the hill.
When the smoke clears, I'll tell you how you performed okay. A very good line. With this one, the ground unit is progressing well.
Tech 8 IKG, we're leaving fire zone for refill. Captain, we can scoop here if you think it's a better choice than King City. 10% capacity. Tanks are full, let's go.
Meant to talk through that one, but I've just been thinking. Might be onto something and I might not. But I'm not willing to... I don't know. Gotta think. Not a terrible scoop though.
IKG, clear to engage.
Roger.
Tricky spot. Okay. These are good. The sink is gonna be nasty.
Water away.
As soon as I get a clearer view, I'll radio you how's that drop. Great drop. That last drop crushed it. Well done. The ground team can launch the operation.
Nice.
Lockwood is safe now. It was great to coordinate this attack with you, team.
Yeehaw.
Back to base. The ground squad will deal with what's left. End of the mission, IKG. Good work. Fly home safe.
Now, I'm gonna try something that's either gonna screw everything or
Base. We're heading back.
be better.
Base to IKG, copy. We're waiting for you.
95% in the NH. Oh, 8% torque. I don't know which number is the most important there. Temps are steady. Which number do I have to care about? I'm curious.
Jennifer, you gotta tell the second team they can stand down. We've wrapped up here.
They'll be disappointed. They were ready to go.
Sorry, not sorry.
The air just got much smoother, which is quite nice. Especially because I would love to test this far more. Like, I'm well in the orange. My temps are steady in the green. NH is about 95%. So if you can fly it off of the throttle numbers versus the torque, might give you a more fine look at on the climb here. Back that way. Ooh, there it is. Alright, so that doesn't work. Can't over torque the engine forever. Good to know. Took a long time though. That's cool. So I wonder what it is it's reporting then? Is it the over torque for too long? Or is it something else? Because if it's the over torque, then I mean it can't happen immediately because the throttles need to have stops. But
Oakland Tower, IKG Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Delta 5810, 1 tree miles south 4600, for to land. IKG Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Delta 5810, Oakland Tower. Altimeter 29er. 902 make straight in runway 29er. Fly straight in runway 29er, IKG Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Delta 5810.
Still getting some artifacts, some stutters here and there. So far it's been manageable. Don't like when it happens in the water, but yeah, I know. Just looking at instruments. All I've got is 50 degrees less on the right. That seems like a strange, like why isn't there more indication? I'm so curious about this. I want to know more about these engines. And I wish there was more documentation, but that is awfully hard to find. Yeah, I see that. What is it telling me?
IKG Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Delta 5810, wind 015 at 11. Clear to land runway 29er.
Cleared to land 29er.
Runway 29er, IKG Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Delta 5810.
I'm quite high right now, but that's okay. And then that's the other thing, without the game giving me a hard time, well, I saw the temperature drop, so if you were flying this plane for real and you saw a mismatch in temperature, but there doesn't seem to be any other indication. Alright, plunging again. I've been thinking more than I've been paying attention. Adjusting the trim. Ups 2. At least our approach is fine. Safe airspeed, gear down. And taking some of the pitch out, adding a little bit of power just to smoothen things out a little. Full flaps.
IKG Foxtrot Delta 5810 exit runway when able.
Yeah, so right now it's been however long with the VR. I've got a little bit of just a sensitive spot on the top of my head where the pads are. Almost a little bit of soreness. But yeah, just by doing that I can relieve some of the pressure and it's fine again.
Oakland ground IKG Foxtrot Delta 5810 request taxi to parking.
IKG Foxtrot Delta 5810 taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Alpha.
Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha IKG Foxtrot Delta 5810.
Since well, we'll go down and around. Whatever. Probably cut this part out of the video anyways.
The zone is out of danger. The mayor congratulates you.
It's there.
Considering the wind direction is a critical factor. You'll see that in your mission stats.
Well, start giving it to me in a mission briefing and maybe I'll do something about it.
4 degrees true.
Oh, that was fun. Learned something. I'm okay with that. And my head's comfortable. The temperature's quite nice. So, very happy with that. Bobovr S3, I mean, certainly nothing in the way of sponsorships. That would be lovely, but I'm very happy with it.